Arsenal are currently the best team in the world, I guess you could say, first in the Premier League and first in the Champions League. But today we're diving into their midfield and what makes this midfield the best midfield in the world. 2 years ago, Arsenal paid £105 million for Declan Rice, which was a club record fee. And of course there was a lot of speculation around this transfer, seeing as Arteta's process was not being trusted fully just yet. And this seemed like a transfer which was, Arsenal overpaid by a lot. Although he showed signs of quality at West Ham in the previous seasons, most wouldn't be happy to give more than £75 million for the young CDM. However, now he is widely regarded as one of the top 4 midfielders in the world, and his stats can prove that. In the opening 12 Premier League games, he has played all 12, and I'm assuming he will play against Chelsea this afternoon. He has already gotten himself 2 goals and 3 assists, but obviously as a CDM his main goal isn't to be scoring goals, so 5 goal contributions is relatively impressive. Obviously I'm aware he does take set pieces, but if we look at his stats per 90 compared to positional peers in the men's top 5 leagues, his non-penalty goals are at a very high 93 percentile, alongside the fact that he takes a lot of shots as well, which you really wouldn't expect from a CDM. However, the way he plays is just a very nice blend of the defensive side of the game, and he's also able to get up. The way he links the defense to the attack is seamless and separates him from someone like Gravenberch or McAllister, for example. And we don't even have to talk about his incredible set-piece taking. The stats do indicate that his defensive game could be improved upon. However, with the signing of Martin Zubimendi, I think Arteta has really covered that gap. Like, Declan Rice isn't bad at defending, and I don't think we should just judge him based off of his stats. However, the signing of Zubimendi has excellently completed this midfield. Arsenal signed Martin Zubimendi from Real Sociedad for approximately €65 million, which is about £56 million. And this transfer has been expected for quite a few seasons now, because Zubimendi showed his class at Real Sociedad, where, yes, he was their best player, but he needed to step up. And the most recent Euros was an excellent way for him to show off his abilities. And this piqued the interest of several clubs such as Arsenal and Liverpool and Bayern Munich. And Arteta saw his defensive power and knew that that was the right guy to bring in. He doesn't contribute to the attack as much as Declan Rice, with him appearing in all 12 Premier League games actually at the time of recording, and he has contributed 2 goals and 1 assist. However, he is still creating shots, and of course he's there to fill that defensive gap. He does still thread the defense and attack a bit, being in a 69th percentile of passes attempted and being in the 67th percentile of progressive passes. However, his that defensive category really separates how Zubimendi plays and how Declan Rice play. Although his 1.8 tackles per 90 isn't wildly impressive, he's leaving that to the defense properly. However, 1.23 interceptions per 90, 1.3 blocks per 90, which is the 67th percentile, 2.52 clearances per 90, which is in the 89th percentile, and 1.74 aerials won, which is in the 85th percentile. These stats indicate that he actually wants to play the game and he's fighting for the ball, which is exactly what Arsenal needed to cover for Declan Rice. But of course you don't want your midfield to be only defensive, because goals still need to be created, and that is where Eberechi Eze comes in. He's played 11 games for Arsenal at the time of recording with 4 goals and 2 assists, and I expect that number to definitely go up to at least 20 goal contributions this season the way he's playing. Obviously, yes, he did score a hat-trick in the North London derby, so the goal contributions may be a bit skewed by that one game. However, you don't even have to look at just the actual amount of goals he has, but the amount of chances he creates as well. And looking at his stats, if you look at that attacking category, every percentile is above 70. He obviously showed his class at Crystal Palace, where over the past few seasons he got 11 goals and 4 assists in 27 Premier League games in the 23-24 season, and then last season he played in 34 Premier League matches, getting 8 goals and 8 assists. However, as you can see by his stats, he's not helping out the defence too much, which is exactly why Declan Rice, Zubimendi and Eze perfectly complement each other's games. Eze is the man that takes on defenders, as you can see by his 2.16 successful take-ons per 90. And then Rice is there for the set pieces and also to just kind of support that left wing, that left side, and Gyökeres and Eze as they kind of form like this kind of, I guess you could say, square. And then Zubimendi is there to fix any mistakes, like if they happen, or if Declan misplaces a pass and the opposition start a counter-attack, Zubimendi is always there. I think that's why they have a very good chance of winning at least a trophy this season, which, honestly, come on, it needs to happen, Arsenal.